Hey there, folks. So, I am here in beautiful Portland, Oregon, and it's another day in paradise. You know, there's sunshine and green grass, and over here is the Willamette River. And you know, it's basically just a beautiful day. It's supposed to be up in the 90s today. It's going to get really hot. But you know, the point of this video and the reason that I decided to come online this morning is to do with that sticker that I just showed you. So that sticker back there, someone put it up, and what it says is no ICE, because most folks in the US don't actually want immigrations and custom enforcement out there enforcing their fascist dictates. We don't support ethnic cleansing in the United States. But here in Portland, there is a very vocal minority of pro-fascists. And what they're doing is they're launching a campaign of hate, terror, and violence against not just the Latinx community, but also people who are lesbian, gay, bi, trans, or allies. And so what's happening is all around this town, there are symbols of hate popping up. And it's absolutely disgusting. But what is, in my opinion, even more disgusting is that people are willing to stand by for it. You know, there are hundreds of thousands of people in Portland. And when the fascists come out in the street, only maybe 1,000 people, if that, show up to tell them, get out of here, you fascists. And among the people who show up to support the fascists are the Portland Police Bureau. So here in Portland, it's been proven that the Portland Police Bureau supports the racist, bigoted hate mongers that are the Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys. The Portland Police Bureau has been directly tied to them. There's physical evidence that they support the fascist dictates of these extremist right-wingers. And to me, I don't understand it. I don't understand how a law enforcement agency that is supposed to be a protectorate of the people, a protectorate of the public, can side with fascist right-wing hate mongers. It seems to me like if you are a fascist right-wing hate monger, you should be afraid that law enforcement is going to come and arrest you and put you in jail for being a filthy, worthless scum bucket. So, you know, here in Portland, Oregon, we're basically on the front lines of the new Civil War, because the people who are filled with hatred, violence, and intolerance are emboldened here in Portland, Oregon, because they know that law enforcement is on their side. They know the police are also right-wing, intolerant, fascist, hate-filled scumbuckets. And I hope you're watching right now, Portland Police Bureau, because I think you guys are absolute crap. And, you know, it's really important to understand what's happening in the United States in terms of civil war. Because this is a civil war. That's what this is. It's a civil war. And on one side, it's the intolerant people who are filled with hatred. And on the other side, it's everybody else. It's literally everybody else. And what's happening right now is that the violent people who are hate-filled and want to murder anyone who isn't part of their very small minority of Christian, white, heterosexual men, anybody who isn't a part of that, they're trying to kill us. They're just straight up trying to kill us. And, you know, last night and in the past couple of days, there have been death threats on people who live alternative lifestyles here in Portland. Somebody put a firebomb in the yard of some lesbians. They put a firebomb in their yard. And the reason that they're willing The reason that these hate mongers are willing to take that sort of chance and put a firebomb in somebody's yard is because they know that the police are on their side. They know it. While I was out here in June documenting the hate mongers, I saw them shaking hands with the Portland Police Bureau. I took a video of it. It is clear as the nose on my face that Portland Police Bureau supports extremist right-wing hate mongers. They are the right-wing hate mongers. And that's why we see this rush. It's not even a slide. It's a rush towards civil war right now. So, you know, it's hard for me to put it into words for you guys. But basically, if you are silent right now, if you remain silent in the face of extremist hate and violence, then while this country continues to become more vitriolic and more hate-filled and more violent towards people who are not white, heterosexual Christian males, as it continues to become more violent, I want you all to be accountable for your inaction. Because as long as you stand by and remain silent, it emboldens these hate-filled bastards to become even more violent and more extreme. We need to actually show up. We need to actually show up and let not just them, but law enforcement, politicians, bankers, lobbyists, and corporations know we're not going to be a fascist state of hate. The United States will not become a fascist state of hate. We'll fight back against that. We won't tolerate those types of belief systems, and we won't tolerate those types of enforcement actions. Because that's what's going on, right? Here in Portland, there's going to be a rally on Saturday of the fascists. The hate mongers are coming right here. And they plan on harming people. They put a firebomb and two people had firebombs put in their yards this week. And probably more. Those are just the ones who were courageous enough, or possibly stupid enough, to report it to the police, because the police are part of the problem. In Portland, the police have been proven to be intolerant and racist. The Justice Department investigated the Portland Police Bureau and found them to be intolerant and racist. Plus, they're straight up corrupt. So for us, people who actually care about liberty, who actually care about justice and freedom, we can't trust the Portland Police Bureau because they straight up work with white supremacists and act to murder people of color and act in intolerance and hatred. It's documented. The Justice Department did an investigation and found the Portland Police Bureau is a racist pack of murderers. That's not even conjecture or speculation. That's evidence. You can go to the Department of Justice and read their findings. The Portland Police Bureau are no good. So for us, the people who actually care about civil liberties, the people who actually care about diversity, who care about communities of color, who care about, whatever type of sexual preference or gender identity, for the people who actually care, we can't turn to the Portland Police Bureau because we won't receive protection. We won't receive justice. We won't receive support. Because the Portland Police Bureau supports the racists and the intolerant people. It's not even speculation. Please, do the research. Go take a look, and you're going to find exactly what I said. The Department of Justice has already done the investigation and found Portland Police Bureau are racist, intolerant scum buckets. So, we need to figure out, how do we create a system to care for each other when we know that law enforcement won't do their job and actually care for the people? We know in Portland that law enforcement betrays their oath of office to support white supremacists. So then how do we, as the public, ask for and receive help to stop the violent, intolerant, right-wing fascists. How do we do that? It's really hard. And, you know, I'm just one guy, right? I'm just a guy with an opinion. But in my opinion, we can't rely on the police to help us. They're not going to. They're not going to help us. And when it comes to extreme, violent, hate-filled, racist, white supremacists, they are in the Portland Police Bureau. And if there's one thing that I know from decades of activism, it's that the police are part of the problem, and they're supported by the media. So when we say something like the police are part of the problem, the media won't even report on it. The police will actively violate their own oath of office, and the cowards at the media will stand by and pretend like it never happened. And, you know, think about it for a second. If the media is controlled, the politicians are controlled, law enforcement is controlled, at that point, what do we have left? Institutions of higher education? You know, we basically have to start creating our own institutions to support the belief systems that are important to us, because there is absolutely no way that law enforcement's going to do it, and there's absolutely no way that the media will do it. That the politicians certainly are not going to support alternative belief systems and alternative lifestyles. They're part of the problem. So, you know, in my opinion, we need to figure out some real serious changes. And part of it's to do with direct action and creating direct action on a scale that's never before been seen in the United States. It's never before been seen by our generation. And we need to do it really, really soon, because the extremists on the right are literally out in the street killing people and putting firebombs in their yards. That's what it's like in Portland, Oregon. In Portland, Oregon, the right wing is killing people and putting firebombs in their yards. That's what we live with here. So it might be a little bit more peaceful where you live, but here in Oregon, it's a dangerous place not to be non-white, non-Christian, non-heterosexual. It's dangerous here. People are getting killed in Portland. And for us to continue to pretend that there's some sort of solution coming down the line from politicians, that's a farce. And we really need to think deeply about what we can do as concerned citizens to make a better world for our children and for our grandchildren, because it's not going to be done by Portland Police Bureau. Portland Police Bureau allows the fascists to march and murder people in Portland, and they support it. It's not even a question of you know, do they care about the minority communities? They've been found actively harming the minority communities. So it's not going to get better if we just turn it over to government and law enforcement. It's not going to get better. We have to take personal accountability for the condition of our country, because the fascists, they're pushing hard. And if we don't create some pushback, then we really deserve the fascist condition of the country that we live in. So with all that said, I'm going to let you guys go. I do appreciate you taking the time to tune in. I hope you have a great rest of your day out there, and I'll talk with you again very soon.